Welcome to York County's Agricultural Industrial Museum, which is part of the York County History Center. And today in particular, we're going to take a look at the history of the Pullman Car Company here in York County. By 1900s, advances in technologies led to the production of horseless carriages all across America, and York County, Pennsylvania was no exception. 14 different York County car companies made cars in the early 1900s.
Of these, the most successful was the Pullman Motor Car Company. Local entrepreneur A.P. Brummel and York Carriage Company owner Sam Bailey joined forces to develop a variety of vehicles. Each new model made improvements in style, speed, and reliability.
Although it only produced cars from 1903 to 1917, the Pullman Car Company and its surviving models represent an innovative time in American history and represent the evolution from horse to horsepower.
Right off the bat, we have to thank the History Center here for giving us access to these vehicles. When you come during normal business hours, you are not allowed to go past the rope, not allowed to touch the vehicles. We're not going to touch the vehicles, but we're going to get beyond the rope. So just so you know, when you do come here and enjoy this place, stand on the side of the rope. So today's modern vehicles are wonderful, and they have many amenities that we take advantage of. When you go to start your car, some cars start with your phone. By the time the car starts, it's running, your seats are heated, your favorite music's playing. You start driving to your destination, you have lane keep assist and all kinds of things that keep you safe on the road. You might even arrive to your destination more relaxed than when you started your trip. Back here in 1906 with this Pullman example, things were a little bit different. If you wanted to take a trip at nighttime, probably your first order of business, or one of them at least, was to come over here and light each gas-powered light and marker light, which means you had to have a supply of gas and you had to have a lighter of some kind, a striker, to light these minor type headlights, which I just learned today, which is really cool. They have a handle here that if you need to take them off and move them outside your field of vision or in front of you, you can, which I thought was really, really cool. That's step number one. Step number two is setting the brake, because if the car does happen to start, you don't want to roll over you. That would be bad. So set the brake here. There's no door or no window. That's actually working to your favor. You're gonna wanna set the timing here, something you don't do in a normal car. Set the timing and retard the spark. Don't advance it, set it to slower. And then set the throttle to, well, I'm not sure in this car, but in every car is a little different. You set the throttle to probably about a quarter to a third of a throttle. Again, you don't want it wide open. And then turn the box here to battery on. You come back to the front of the car. If this car had a choke, you may wanna set the choke if it's cold. If you have a cold start, come back over here and find the crank handle. This handle is attached to the crankshaft of the engine, directly to the crankshaft. It spins clockwise, so even if you're righty, you're gonna wanna perform this maneuver with your left hand. Put your left hand under the crank, keep your thumb off the handle, because if this car were to backfire, the handle could swing back and injure you or break a thumb or a wrist. So use your left hand, put your thumb under the handle, and if you're strong, you could stand like this, but if you need a little help, maybe grab a tire or something and pull straight up and over and try to start your car that way. Once the car's running, your job isn't done yet. You come back over here to this side, advance the timing, give it maybe a little bit more fuel, and you will listen for your engine to idle out and smooth. You'd have to know the sound of your own engine. You'd have to know when it was running rough or when it was running well. And by that point, once you have everything secure, you're nearly ready to go. You'd come over here into the driver's area, which I might notice is on the right-hand side of the car. We'll get to that in a little bit. And then you'd activate these pedals and levers. You've got yourself a reverse pedal, a brake pedal, and you've got a clutch pedal that also helps you go forward at different speeds. You notice I didn't say a gas pedal, because again, your throttle is up here on the steering column. So things have become much different from this time period to the cars that we enjoy today. But one thing I'll notice on this early example of a car, the steering wheel is on the right-hand side. We always assume in America that steering wheel's always on the left, but that is not the case. That wasn't a standard thing until about 1908, 1909. We probably have Henry Ford to thank for that with the Model T. The Ford Corporation decided that if we put the steering wheel on the left-hand side, passengers could enter the car more safely from the sidewalk or street area through the right of the vehicle. But back before then, steering wheels might be placed on the right or they might be placed on the left. And just as a quick anecdotal story, I remember my grandmother telling me about times that she'd ride in open-air vehicles like this, and on a winter day, to keep at least their feet warm, before they'd set out, her family would set bricks in the oven, warm the bricks, set the bricks on the floor back here where the passenger would ride. They put 3 bricks on the floor per person and slip your feet in amongst the 3 bricks to keep your feet warm, at least for the short journey, wherever they happen to be going. So here, sitting in this 1936 Dodge Brothers truck, you see a lot of things that you and I take for granted today in modern cars. Things like a gear selector, electric lights, a way to start the truck from inside the cab, a gas pedal, brakes in the middle, and clutch on the left. You also have a solid roof. This is just an example of how some cars through the years have changed, but some things still remain the same.